Hello everybody and welcome to Mark's Allotment. A very big thank you and a warm welcome to all my subscribers. It's a sunny but a little bit chilly Friday the 26th, I believe. Yeah, Friday the 26th of September. So just hopefully going to be a quick film today. I'm just going to turn the camera around so you can hear me a bit better. I don't know how much of the wind is affecting the sound. Anyway, so neighbour of mine has got some spare spring cabbage plants, which is great. It means I don't have to go and buy them, and I'm going to plant them in this bed here. Now, as you can see, there's broad beans coming up, and these are left over from this year's broad beans. When I took the plants down, I'll chop them down, I left quite a few pods on the ground, and they've obviously reseeded, which I don't mind because obviously it's still feeding the ground. So I'll clean these out, just chop them down, and then I'm going to put some spring cabbages in there. I'll come back to you on that later, and hopefully show you me harvesting some of my parsnips, and a quick update on the plot. Anyway, so I'll see you in a bit later. Bye for now. Okay everybody, welcome back. So I've planted most of the row with spring cabbage. So I'll just show you on one of the plants. Right, so I'm doing it roughly a trowel's distance apart. Probably a bit close, but it should be alright. Anyway, so I'm just clearing the top layer of until I get down to the surface of the soil. This is a tricky bit with one hand on the camera. So this is a bulb planter, so I'm just using that as a means of digging a hole out. Put in there. Oop, get in there, you so-and-so. Right, now I've got some couple of handfuls of homemade compost. And obviously it's easier when you've got two hands, of course. Right, there's the so filling back up there with that. Now there. Oh, there, just and I'll water them in then. So that's that. One more plant. I've got a few spares. Where are they? Oh, they're there. Excuse me. Right, got a few spares which I'll put in somewhere I'll put the spares in somewhere so in case any of those fail for any reason. Whew. It's warming up now. So I've got one more plant to go in, then I'll come back to you shortly and show you my parsnips, etc. Now, just turn the camera back around again, sorry about the camera work. Anyway, I was going to cut all these broad beans plants down, but I thought, well, it's extra work, but I thought, do you know what? When I planted those brassicas over there, I planted them amongst the broad beans when they were there, and they've thrived quite nicely. So I'm going to do the same with these, and eventually I'll just cut them down, let the broad bean plants develop a bit more, so I know there's going to be nitrogen on the roots, and hopefully then the cabbages will make use of that as it weathers in. Right, I'll be back to you shortly with the parsnips. Bye for now. Okay everybody, right, so that's just where those broad beans are. Is now planted a row of spring cabbage, and so I'm just going to pick out, sorry, turn this camera so now I'm going to pull out some parsnip, or a parsnip. I've already got some, so I'm just pulling one out to demonstrate really. It won't go to waste, I'll just process them and put them in the freezer. Anyway, so Let's have a look. So look here, see what we got. So, oh, here we are. Oh, that's quite loose. So, I don't know if you can see, this is shop bought compost, from B&Q, a general purpose compost, and I think it's peat. Yes, it is peat based. So, anyway, without further ado, I'm just seeing how big the top is. It looks okay. So, oh, right, here we are. I don't know if you can see that. So, looks nice and clean. Just put him there for a minute. I'm just gonna, because there's a nice big one next to him. I'm not gonna pull him though. I'm just gonna leave him for now. Put the saw back over. So, oh, that's a shame. Never mind. Yes, not a huge parsnip, but you know, I don't want them too big. They start to go too woody in the middle. So that is why I grow my parsnips and carrots in a peat, or well, you know, a compost like that, in tyres, to make it easier to pull out. No digging. I mean, I suspect the bigger, let me just turn the camera on a bit. I suspect the bigger ones may need a little bit of help with something or other, because they're going to go down deeper beyond the depth of the tyre. So let's just check against the size of the tyre. So yeah, so that would have, the soil, the level of the compost is there, so about there somewhere roughly. So that was there, so that would have gone into the ground about an inch, but the bigger ones will be probably deeper than that, so they may need a little bit of persuasion. But on the whole, in this sort of compost, it's so much easier, and I'm getting cleaner examples as well. I'm not getting so much canker, so you know. But as I say, you want the general purpose compost, which hasn't got much goodness in it. You don't want a compost that's got a lot of nutrients in it, because obviously as you know, the feed will encourage them to fork, etc. Anyway, so that's that. Just gonna show you a quick update then of the plot. Start at the top, I suppose. So I've just come back now. Well, I'm just come back. I've been back about 2 weeks. I had a week down in south of France, and learning to fly microlights. I was almost ready to go solo, but didn't have quite enough time at the end of the week. But it's imminent, me going solo. So keep watching this space, as they say. I'll put the film up when I do. Anyway, so we got a nice example of a butternut squash there. That's ready for picking. I shall pick that before, because we're off up to my sister-in-law's for a few days, so I'll take that up with me to help supplement the feed. So this system of growing them up around a trellis actually worked quite well. It saved it going all over the ground and using up a valuable space, and then I had to train them around as they were growing. But other than that, you know, they've just done their own thing really, and it seems to have worked. So I'm going to do that again next year. But I'll probably, I don't know if you can see from, well, we'll come to it, but there's a bit of fencing over there. I'll probably use that to make a slightly larger trellis work for it. Some odd onion sets have come up now. I'm just going to leave them grow, why not? Some nice curly kale coming. Bit of white fly, unfortunately. But, you know, I just mix up a brine solution, you know, salt and water in a bowl, and just give them a good soak. That cleans them up a bit. You know, it's all extra protein. Some nice, what are these? These are purple protein. I'll just pull them off there for now. Oh. So, they're coming. And some nice savoys. And they've done really well. They're nice and firm. And I haven't sprayed them which is none of these. I've not sprayed any of them. I don't like spraying unless I really have to. So that's that. Did have courgettes in. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be putting here. Again, these broad beans self-sowed, and that's where they're coming. So I can probably see I've cleared a bit of a space for the cabbages to come up. A few more beetroot, the last of the beetroot, that is. Just up here with that, I don't know if you can see that stone on the top. That was supposed to be a asparagus bed, but the plants I put in didn't come, so I've reordered some. Due next spring. Again, I don't know what the heck this is. What's coming up here? Is it an onion of some sort? Yeah, it's probably garlic. Okay, so some swede. Not very good examples of swede, unfortunately, but you know, with my wife being ill and bits and pieces of work and stuff like that, I've not had the time to come down as much as I'd like. But anyway, but this compost mulch system has really worked well for me as far as the weeds are concerned. It's helped a lot. I mean, there's a little bit coming up, but I've probably, you remember, this was all potatoes, so I've converted these to beds. I've tried not to dig the paths as deep as the other ones, because if we get another hot spell next year, the trouble is this system, they dry out too quickly. So passive. And obviously I've dismantled the pallet collars that I had there for the potatoes, and now I'm going to put the tyres here, and this will be a permanent feature, I think, for carrots and parsnips, and I'll sort of alternate them. You know, I won't use the same bit every year. Try and do a bit of a crop rotation. Yeah, the potatoes here, so I've converted these to beds again, and yeah, so that's about it. The bottom plot is, well, it's a bit of a jungle at the moment. You can only do so much. So pulled my beans down now, and etc. So I found some bits of carpet, laid them down to keep the weed down, to save me a little bit of work later on. So that's about it. So anyway, I hope all your plots out there are doing well and haven't suffered too much with the lack of water this summer. Yes, down here one of the major issues is the lack of water. So plans for now until Christmas, well, I've got a few more paving slabs under there, so they're going to go down around the shed. I've got to get some guttering on the shed so I can collect more water. So I've got spring cabbages in, so you know, there's not a lot happening now this time of year, just tidying up. And well, that's about it. All my apples have finished now, some nice specimens, so hopefully that one there will train down this path will train down this bed, and I may just do the same thing with the tyres on that bed as well, because once the apple tree is growing there, it's going to shade a lot of the bed. So yeah, I think perhaps I should have trained the tree the other side, because the sun comes around there. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, I got plenty of ground I can afford to take a chance. Right, so I'm trying to keep this as short as possible this time. I'm now going to go and get some more compost with the trailer, and that's about it. I'm done for today. Whew. Okay, bye for now.